Uh, Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us here at the Caterpillar stand. I'd like to start by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and I pay my respects to elders past and present. It's wonderful to be at this mining expo, and particularly on the Caterpillar stage, and talking about energy and decarbonisation. And I'm going to give you today a little bit of a perspective on how Ampol sees the future from an oil company perspective. And of course, we need to set the scene first, and it remains a period of great change in the global fuels and broader energy sector. Over the course of the past few years, COVID and the subsequent Russian invasion of Ukraine have highlighted vulnerabilities in global supply chains, with energy security and sovereignty becoming a front of mind consideration for governments alongside the energy transition. And of course, an increasingly challenging economic environment to add to this. The importance of managing and balancing these dynamics has become more and more evident as we progress through a complex transition in a manner that is as orderly as possible. Navigating these transitions whilst achieving a transition to a lower carbon footprint remains one of the most important challenges for Australia as we look ahead. And today I'll share the perspective about Ampol and the role that we will play in navigating this evolution with our customers and our partners in the mining industry. Ampol now has been powering Australian mobility for over 100 years. For more than a century, our company has evolved to meet the challenges and needs of our customers across all industries. In 2020, we made a decision to bring back the Ampol brand. Ampol is an icon of Australian motoring and of supplying Australian industry. And we felt the value of customer recognition and trust invested in brand Ampol could not be underestimated, and we already know we've got that right. The fuels of Australian mobility are changing, and Ampol is evolving in order to meet the challenges of an energy transition by having solutions available for customers that are leading the way, while at the same time ensuring we are there for those who will transition later. There is a lot of work to do yet, but our integrated business model, which aligns a refining and trading business with a national terminal and distribution model, gives us a best-in-class platform to continue to serve our customers' changing needs. The resilience of our model secures our opportunities to innovate and to change and to grow. And doing that under brand Ampol reinforces to customers, competitors and governments that we remain Australia's homegrown energy champion. We're the only Australian headquartered, fully integrated fuel manufacturer, trading, distributor and retailer in this country, and we own a responsibility to both align our business to our customers' needs and our country's needs. And to understand where we're going, it's important to remember where we've come from. So I wanted to talk to you briefly about the history of Ampol, which is relevant and an important marker of the role I see us playing today and in the future. Ampol is proudly Australian, established by Sir William Walkley in 1936 as the Australian Motorist Petrol Company, to take on the established overseas-owned oil companies who dominated the domestic market at that time. And under Walkley's leadership, the company went from a modest two-room office and rented typewriter in Sydney to a major Australian company with diverse interests across sectors nationally. At the time of the merger with Caltex Oil in 1995, the combined entity became the market leader in Australia and have remained so till today. Along the way, Ampol, known as the innovator, using its bold, nimble and ambitious approach to push new frontiers, pioneer technology that would shape our industry and invest to support the growth of the development of our country. Walkley's belief was that working for Australia was part of working for Ampol. And this was reflected in many of the milestones that underpin the company's growth from time to time. Some of those are from Walkley's travel to Washington during World War II to secure 50,000 drums of motor spirit for the Australian government, the company's leading role in discovery of oil in Exmouth in the Gulf of Western Australia, and through to the construction of the lithium refinery back in the 1960s up in Brisbane. It gave the nation its first wholly owned processing facility, coming into operation in July 1965, and we remain proud that this facility continues to support Australian energy security through ongoing successful operations and now in partnership with the Energy Security Act with the Australian Government. The history of Ampol is also a lesson in the importance about being ambitious and nimble, and of focused risk-taking and innovation in business. Ampol took calculated risks to grow and backed its people as they executed the company's strategy, something we can continue to focus on in our strategy today. Walkley's approach and these founding principles that shaped Ampol across its history remain central to our company. In the same way, many of the energy and economic challenges we face as a country today have parallels with our economic history. Like the disruption and challenges of the post-war periods of the energy transition that is upon us, geopolitical tensions continue to simmer, and we continue to leverage the experience of our history and planning for the future. So it's Ampol's scale, it's our market-leading infrastructure, customer relationships and experience in managing complex supply chains means we have an important role to play in the energy transition. As a transport energy company whose future is about providing whatever energy our customers need, wherever they need it, be it at home, en route, or at their mining operations, we must work with the government, industry and technology specialists to build new solutions for our customers. Through our strategic infrastructure, we play a key role in efficiently distributing fuels to our customers today, safely, reliably and efficiently. The ability to repurpose our infrastructure network for multiple energy uses in the future will support the most efficient pathway for our customers' future needs. So bringing back the Ampol brand has gifted our people with this sense of responsibility. We need to fulfil these expectations and those of our customers to maintain the legacy of trust. And so as customers' expectations and requirements change, so must we. That is why now we are working diligently to improve and broaden our offering, and that is why we're extending the rollout of our recharging network, and that is why we're investigating the economics of the renewable fuels that will power Australia's aviation and mining and heavy transport sectors as they engage with their carbon emissions challenges. At the same time, we must continue to do our part to maintain the reliable supply of legacy products and underpin the fuel security our industry has delivered for so many decades. Ampol is better positioned to handle security of fuel challenges, the energy transition and the cost of living challenges because we control our own destiny and have the flexibility to adapt. And again, to put the context around why we're well positioned, we have one of the only 2 refineries in Australia. Provides us the opportunity now, but also in the future to use our knowledge to manufacture low carbon fuels in the future. We have a trading and shipping business that provides us access to supply from around the world in our own terms, and this has served us very well through recent global issues, including COVID-19 and Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And we have a quality network of import terminals and distribution sites that allow us to efficiently serve our network of partners and customers across Australia, encompassing all of the key mining regions in Australia. Ampol, of course, believes that renewable fuels will play an exceptionally important role in energy transition. The energy transition to date has demonstrated there is no one-size-fits-all solution. Different customers will have different requirements, and Ampol believes that renewable fuels have the potential to be one of the most cost-effective and easily deployable decarbonisation solutions available. Of course, electric vehicles will be the winning solution for passenger cars in the long run, and we're investing heavily through EV charging infrastructure in the AMP Charge network, and we'll see that some mines are planning trials and have plans to scale up electrification at their mine sites, although most agree that this has a long way to go and will be a timely exercise and capitally intensive. For many mines, there are different solutions required for heavy transport, where electrification and hydrogen are also not currently likely to be successful. So therefore, we see renewable fuels including sustainable aviation fuel and renewable diesel, as the near-term solutions. A drop-in fuel that can be used in existing fuel infrastructure and engines without the need to replace our fuel system or our customers' capital equipment, which have been built up over such a long period of time. And of course, whilst we look to the future, we should think about what solutions are here and available for our customers today. For many years now, we've been testing and proving locally our Amplify products, which can save 4% on fuel economy. And so as we know, there's a range of challenges that are holding up rapid adoption of renewable diesel, electrification and hydrogen. These improvements today can make a real difference. In addition to Amplify HD, which we've proven in many Australian mine sites to deliver benefits, and there's some samples from our website, which are case studies today, which exist, that have been completed. We continue to roll this out with more customers as they take on the journey to solve commercially and make a difference today. In addition to these, there's also lubrication opportunities with synthetic greases and high-performance hydraulic oils that can, in certain operations, deliver an improvement in fuel efficiency. And as always, I would encourage anybody who's not optimising their fuel efficiency today to reach out to myself or any of the colleagues on the Ampol stand. But let's look at the big challenge. I mentioned we're also investing significantly in evolving our company to meet the current and future needs of our mining customers who need low carbon fuel options. And of course, Australia is over-indexed in heavy-duty transport and mining, given we have exceptionally long travel distances and such a strong global mining and agricultural industry bases. And it's worth noting that over 70% of Ampol's fuel sales last year were diesel and jet fuel. And so we believe that drop-in advanced biofuels have a huge role to play to enable the energy transition. And while there are different bets on when and how electrification will kick off, we see that there is no doubt that renewable diesel has a place in the mining sector, and should they close the gap to get to full electrification, that those fuels will be readily redeployed into the aviation sector, which has no suitable alternatives to fuel as they use it today. And so this is why we've worked with the government to develop new fuel standards and have succeeded in securing waivers to allow Ampol an early opportunity to work with customers on renewable diesel. We're already importing small amounts of renewable diesel for customers, and of course we expect demand to grow significantly as emissions reductions policies are implemented. In this year's federal budget, the government outlined a policy agenda to support renewable fuels manufacturing in Australia. This included supply-side measures to incentivise domestic production, and also a path to develop the most efficient demand-side policies for low-carbon fuels. These announcements give us confidence to move ahead with our renewables fuel project studies, which may ultimately help the hard-to-abate sectors get started with their own emissions reduction goals. Aviation and heavy transport, including mining, are assessed as the two of the hardest-to-abate sectors of the carbon economy, and Ampol supports the efforts by the government to consider low-carbon fuel standards. More recently, Ampol has partnered with GrainCorp and global investor IFM in investigating the potential of creating a homegrown and fully integrated renewable fuels business. Before we get to the flagship, I'll just talk to you about co-processing. Co-processing could become viable for Ampol in as early as 2026. We have already upgraded the catalyst in the hydrotreater so that we can actually process existing renewable fuel stocks such as tallow and canola here in Australia, rather than currently they are exported to Singapore or China and brought back as finished renewable products. So that's a start we can make in 2026, although the capacity is limited. But getting on to the flagship project at Lytton, if you think about the size, it could be anywhere from 600 million to 1 billion litres in capacity, and the ability to switch between renewable diesel and sustainable aviation fuel in approximate numbers. And if everything goes well, we'll be manufacturing these products before 2030. And so we firmly believe that a drop-in solution ensures the most efficient outcome for a national economy still struggling to come to terms with the needs and cost of the energy transition. Our proposition would help fuel transition while extending the economic life of our existing capital stock and that of our customers. In an energy transition with a strong security and cost overlay, where there are many challenges to navigate, this is an area where Australia's landmass, climate and strong agricultural credentials can play a role in supporting not only a domestic decarbonisation pathway and enhanced fuel security, but over time open up an export market opportunity for Australia. And of course, there's still a lot to get right and a lot of studies to be completed and many challenges to overcome. The government and policy certainly have a huge role to play in aligning the policy settings that the industry will need for both producers and of course our end users. It's not lost to us that mining is an export-focused business in most areas, and that policy and getting the costs and the commercials right is an essential part of this. So these are the investments that we must consider to remain competitive and to solve our customers' challenges in the future, providing products our customers will need, and we want our customers to have confidence that Ampol can meet their needs both today and tomorrow. If there is anything I would like this group to take away from today, is that Ampol takes its responsibility as a major fuel supplier very, very seriously. We're focused on meeting the needs of our customers, and that we recognise those needs are changing and will continue to change. We intend, of course, to keep working with all of our suppliers, collaborating with our customers and indeed across the whole industry to evolve the outcomes so that we can support our customers with the products and services that they need. Thank you for your time. I wanted to just briefly thank the IMARC team for inviting and setting up this great forum for us to discuss the really important issues. They do a great job of bringing the industry together and appreciate being involved. So I thank you for your time. Look forward to discussing with many of you following this session how you plan on solving the energy needs in your business and how Ampol can help. Please come and visit us, our stand, and we appreciate your time in the theatre here today. Thank you.